What's up? Yeah, I'm good. Yeah. I'm gonna start making dinner. You can start.
3, 2, 1, action.
Hey guys, so I'm gonna go live really quick. It's Monday. It's been a hectic day since I got the kids. They're doing some work in our yard, and they accidentally. So we don't have an alley, and they're redoing the main line, and they cut our internet. So kids are freaking out, and yeah, so that's what's going on. But I could still watch TV on my tablet, but it'll be all right. Anyway, so I'm gonna actually make today some barbecue meatballs, some broccoli, and some white rice, because I don't know why, I just like that combination. So it's a really quick, easy recipe, super easy. You need, let me show you. Hold on.
And Mom's birthday's tomorrow.
Yes, and my birthday is tomorrow. So I'm using some grape jelly, barbecue sauce, and some seasonings. They just came back from the store, so I don't need that much seasonings. But I'm going to use garlic, salt, paprika, and maybe a little bit of Italian. And I'm going to maybe put some of this butcher's all-purpose. The butter's for the broccoli. These are the meatballs I use. They're beef meatballs, and I get them at Sam's. Love Sam's. It is a big giant bag of 6 pounds, which I'm not going to use that many. I might use half of it. Anyway, so let's get started. So, alright. Here's a big foil pan. What, son? Okay. RJ's recording on the other phone for me because just in case I still can't figure out how to load my live videos to my YouTube channel, which I think I've told y'all I have a YouTube channel now, so I do post different things on that one versus on my live streams. So hopefully y'all could go check it out, like and subscribe, and then I might be just doing, hey Prima, I'm actually making some barbecue meatballs, broccoli, and white rice, because I just like that combination. So I'm going to start with my jam. It's about half a jar because I'm using quite a bit of, like I said, meatballs. So it doesn't want to come out, and it's making some funky noises. So I'm going to actually see if Julie will record for me on this one, so that way. Say hi to the peoples.
Hi.
Alright. So I just put the jelly in there. Why I do it this way? Because I'm going to pop it in the oven. So you can make this ahead of time and make it in the slow cooker, like your crock pot. I have only one crock pot, and I forget I have it sometimes. And I don't wake up early enough to do it sometimes, so that's why I do it this way. Let me get a whisk real quick. I'm going to just kind of mix this up, and it does kind of look, you know, clumpy, but once it heats up, you know, it'll melt down and stuff. Like I said, I'm going to put some seasoning in it, which, like I said, this is brand new. They just got this today. Because I love my garlic salt. My family might say I might use it too much, but you know what? That's tough for them, right? Because I cook the food, right? So just season it. I actually like to put, hold on, let's get over some fresh garlic, which I have some. So I have the garlic paste, and then I have this right here. So I might use a little bit of both, because just gives it a good taste. That's probably about a teaspoon. This recipe is for about 3 pounds of meatballs. Okay. It's for about 3 pounds of meatballs. So I used probably about half a jar of this, and maybe I'm gonna put probably a little more barbecue sauce in a minute. Son, will you hand me a spoon?
No.
I push
My
pause.
legs are sweaty.
Bella just came in the kitchen. This is a big spoon, but I'll probably use maybe about probably about a tablespoon. Teaspoon, sorry, not tablespoon. Tablespoon's the big one, teaspoon's the little one. Anyways, so I am gonna add a little bit of pepper, even though sometimes this barbecue sauce seems a little spicy to me, but I'm just putting a little bit. I'm gonna add a little bit of Italian. Why? I don't know. I think I read one of the recipes that I've used. Like I said, I sometimes grab recipes and just kind of use them throughout and see which one works best, or grab different ingredients from one to the other. So let's see if I can open this. I had another paprika, which is a pie. It's my Spanish paprika, which I really liked, but I can't remember where I bought it. So I just asked the kids to bring me some paprika. This looks very orange. Paprika doesn't really have a taste or a smell, to be honest. It's just more of a, sometimes it gives it a little bit of a different flavor, but this is easy, guys. Quick, easy meal. Like I said, I'm going to pop this in the oven so that way it cooks while my broccoli, I'm going to actually put that in the oven too. And then I have bought, we had to buy a new rice cooker because for the life of me, I cannot make rice on the stove. It's very hard. And even Isaiah, my nephew, was like, that's basic cooking 101. And I was like, well, I failed that class, I guess, because I can't make white rice on the stove. Like I said, I love these meatballs from Sam's. That's about half, but I think I'm going to put a little more. Actually, I think I might put them all. Alright, so if you're doing a small, that was 6 pounds, guys, which it says 32 servings, but you know we never eat the right servings, so these kind of have been thawing out in the fridge for a minute because I took them out and then I remembered we didn't have a rice cooker, and then I had to wait for them to come back from the store, so they were sitting in the fridge for a minute. I'm doing a rough kind of just trying to get them all to coat a little bit, and if they don't all coat, it's fine because you're going to pop them in the oven and then you'll check them in a little bit and make sure they're good. So while this is cooking, like I said, I'm going to put it at 350, and I kind of don't put a timer on it, which I'm sorry, guys. I just kind of check them as I go. If they look like they're done, you can kind of tell. They're already pre-cooked. They're fully cooked, so you don't have to worry about eating raw meat on these unless you're making fresh meatballs, which I've made fresh meatballs before, but it's a little bit of a longer process. But these are fully cooked, so you're basically just warming them up. That's why I said sometimes it's easier to do it in the slow cooker, because when you put them in the slow cooker, you just set them all day long and they cook. So that's pretty much the meatballs. So that I'm going to move it to the side. And this is for my broccoli.
Broccoli, guys. Broccoli. Not meatballs.
Turn the oven on.
Broccoli.
And I got barbecue fingers, which I usually have paper towels everywhere. Alright. And I'm just going to use one bag, I think, today. I think that's probably enough. And I'm going to show you how to make white rice in the slow cooker, which I'm sure all of y'all kind of know how. I just can't make it on the stove. But if y'all have a good recipe for the stove, please share it with me, because keep in mind, I make 6 cups of rice, no, between 4 to 6 cups of rice. This is 2 pounds of broccoli. So I have a stick of butter. Don't judge me if I use the whole thing of butter, okay? Just butter, it's good. And I know I talked about butter last time, and it is salted butter, so I don't really need to add salt, but I still kind of do because I just like salt. So, is there any questions? Is anybody on right now? Anybody on? No? You'll watch later? Okay. I'll probably do half of this thing of butter, so that way it doesn't look like we're putting a lot. And I'm gonna add this one, the open one, just a little bit, and you can kind of see how much I put. If you look closely, just it's barely on there. I'm gonna put a little pepper, and I'm gonna cover both this and the meatballs with foil, and then I'm gonna pop them both in the oven. I'm gonna add a little bit of this all-purpose one. See how that makes it taste. I actually thought about putting cheese in it, but I think that's probably good.
Marina asked if do you make it to sell?
I haven't, but I mean, I guess I could. What are you asking about, the meatballs or just in general food that I make? Because I have had to make like ranchero beans and rice for parties, and you know, family asked me to make them and stuff. Usually it's for parties with the family, so I've never actually sold any. I have sold plates before, and that was maybe a few years back. I would say at least 5 or 6 years ago that I did that, and I made, you know, like
In general.
Yeah. Oh, in general? Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on what it is, and I can give you a kind of like a price, because I usually just charge for how much the stuff is and maybe a little bit of my time to make it, depending on what it is. Again, if it's something that's a little more process, gonna take a while, like, you know, like enchiladas or something, then yeah, it's gonna be a little bit, because it is, you know, it's work to do all this. I love Sam's, guys. I gotta tell y'all, this foil, my best friend. It's from Sam's. All my my foil pans from Sam's. I'm gonna pop this in here already.
She said thank you.
You're welcome. I'm gonna put that one on the top shelf, and then I'm gonna cover the meatballs. My brother actually does make briskets sometimes for parties. And I sometimes I've had to make the sides with him. I'm trying to think for a party and stuff, but normally people ask me to make like Mexican rice or like a big pot of ranchero beans and stuff. So I'm gonna put this one in the middle, and then my rice. So, brand new rice cooker. I just rinsed it out, cleaned it. I use jasmine rice. Why? Because I just like it. There's a bunch of measuring cups in here. I don't know why. Oh, because one of them's to our old rice cooker.
Friday said put your ingredients in line and label them out. Or show the ingredients toward the camera.
Okay, I will do that. This is a Kool-Aid top, as you can see.
Marina asked, do you have a good recipe for mac and cheese?
I do, actually. I could maybe make that one day, but super easy too. I think I just use butter, flour, Velveeta cheese or shredded cheese, a mix of both of them, a little bit of heavy cream, and cream cheese. So I'm gonna kind of just do 2, 3. There's some measurements on here.
You can use this.
I think it says, yeah, on one side it says cups, but...
She says tag her when you do.
Okay, awesome. We'll do that. So, when you make rice, you have to rinse it very good. You don't want any of that starch in there. Again, I'm using jasmine rice. I'm going to rinse this a good 3 times. And, like I said, this is a brand new rice cooker. We just got it today. Our other one, somebody lost the insert to it, and then I had bought a new one, but it's too small for my size family. Again, this is probably a good 4 5 cups of rice. I'm going to rinse this real quick. If you have any questions, feel free to ask. Freddie, as far as the ingredients for today, I use basically barbecue sauce. You don't have to use these brands. You really don't. Any kind of barbecue sauce. If you make your own homemade barbecue sauce, that's even better. I have seen people make homemade barbecue sauce. My sister-in-law makes one. I just never, I'm trying to, a lot of times, a lot of these meals are pretty quick because all my kids are hungry. You don't have to use Welch's grape jelly. You can use Great Value. I used garlic, salt, pepper, some Italian seasoning, and I use this on the broccoli, and then I use this on the what did I make? Barbecue meatballs.
Barbecue meatballs.
So when I make the rice, I rinse it, and I don't. Some people use colanders or like the other mesh ones. I just kind of put water in it and then I dump it. Using my hand to kind of mix it around really quickly, just to make sure it's all mixed really good. Dump the water.
And you don't measure any of your ingredients for seasoning?
I don't, but I can kind of eyeball it and tell you depending on, like if you're planning on making this meal, like I said, I used 6 pounds of meatballs. See the water, it's still kind of murky, cloudy. I think I need one more to rinse. For this recipe, if you're using like 1 or 2 pounds of meatballs, you can go with 1 to 1.5 cup of barbecue sauce to 1/2 cup of jelly, and then the seasonings to your liking, because the barbecue sauce does have seasonings in it. I just like to add a little bit extra. It gives it that little bit of kick that you want. Some people put spicy. You can actually probably put red pepper flakes or some cayenne, or maybe even a little bit of chili powder if you want. I'm going to rinse this one more time because I think it needs one more, and that's good. Go back over here. So when I make rice, let me show you guys real quick. Let me get this out of the way. Get some of this out of the way. Hopefully y'all can see what's going on. Alright. So you can see the rice down there, right? I measure with my finger. You can use any finger as long as it goes to that notch. So I don't know if y'all can see. My fingers barely touching the rice, and as you can see, I probably need a little bit more water, but that's how I measure how much water. Some people will say for 1 cup of rice, it's 1.5 cups of water, which probably is, but I just use my finger because I've seen a lot of people do that and it actually comes out good. Again, trusty old garlic salt. If you don't like garlic salt, you don't have to use it. You can just use salt or regular garlic, or I've seen people use the Mrs. Dash because they're health friendly wise and stuff. So I do season this, even though it's white rice. We like a little bit of seasoning. I do put butter in here, and this is probably about 3.5 tablespoons. And then we're gonna put this in the other room because my electricity is bad in the house, and I can't run too many things in the kitchen because they're all on one breaker, and it will cut off my power over and over and over. You know how I know? Because we'll run the stove, the dishwasher when I had one, the washing machine, and the dryer all at one time, and it blows it out. So I'm going to cook all this, and I'll come back on later to show y'all what everything looks like. But As far as the ingredients and stuff, I kind of just told you it's just barbecue sauce, grape jelly, and you can find a recipe online. Most of them do call for grape jelly and barbecue sauce, and again, you don't have to use the brands I use. I just like Sweet Baby Ray's. Sometimes I even like the brown sugar one, which I didn't go to the store. The kids did, so they just got me the regular one. Rice, again, it's just simple. Make sure it's rinsed really good. Throw it in your rice cooker, because that's what I use, because I can't.
Jean says bring them on camera. I don't know if she's talking about ingredients.
Okay, so again, that's the barbecue sauce. Again, I use 6 pounds of meatballs, so I use pretty much that much, because this was a brand new bottle. That's probably about 2 cups. And again, I might add more of this to the meatballs later as they cook, and I'll let y'all know. And this was about half a jar. So if you're doing it for like a small batch, like if you, because they do sell the meatballs in like 1 pound or I think 2 pound packages, you can use just a cup of barbecue sauce, half a cup of jelly, and then your seasonings. And seasonings, again, that's to your liking. And you can taste it before you put your meatballs in there. And again, the meatballs are pre-cooked, so they're fully cooked. You don't have to worry about eating them raw. The broccoli, again, I'm steaming it kind of, or cooking it in the oven, and I just seasoned it with some garlic salt, pepper, and I used some of this butcher all-purpose. And again, I think I got this at Sam's. I do a lot of my shopping at Sam's because I do buy bulk, because I have a big family. What else? And the rice I did make about 4.5 cups. So, but again, I'll get back on later after maybe about, I'm gonna let this all cook for about 30 minutes, maybe 40 minutes, and I'll jump back on and show you the end result, and I'll let you know if I use any more barbecue sauce or anything like that. Okay, thanks guys for watching, and I'll see y'all in a little while.